Hello, listener.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Brown Carpet Podcast.
So good to have you here.
Slide your Crocs off.
Pull on a pair of tracksuit pants.
And time to get your rocks off.
Okay.
What do we do, Corey? What is this?
Josh, I'm glad you asked that question. What we do here at the Brown Carpet Podcast is we take two weird news stories and we turn them into even weirder movie pitches.
That's a sensational idea.
It's a great idea.
Is that it? That's where it ends?
No.
Good.
Basically, what we do then is we put it out to the listener. That's right. You listening now with your Crocs off and your tracky dacks, you get to vote on which pitch you think sucks the least.
What happens to the winner?
The winner, we make a movie poster for it.
That is unbelievable.
So you get to choose which movie gets brown lit.
That is a vibrant idea bristling with possibilities.
Jump on board.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
He jumped over 3 linebackers in midair, sprouted inwards like a gazelle.
No one laughs at a master of quack fool.
Real nice. Many have died from starvation due to the difficulty of finding enough food, such as seals.
Shut up. No more Mr. Nice Duck. That's it. Right, Mr. Sitz?
What do you make of that? You know, it's the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
The Brown Carpet Podcast.
Ace and a face card. That's 21. That's blackjack. Welcome to the 21st episode of the Brown Carpet Podcast. My name's Josh Goodman. I'm sitting opposite my handsome co-host, Mr. Corey Ginger Pubes Farrell. How are you, mate?
Oh, when did you become a local radio jock? Shock jock Josh!
Well, stop it. How you been, mate?
Been good. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Yeah.
You've been busy?
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
High profile busy.
A lot of people don't know this about Corey. He has a life outside of the podcast.
I do.
There's a lot of things. He's a very important man. And last few weeks have been pretty big for you.
Can't get me in a box. Yeah, I'm out there. Big announcement.
Big announcement.
I've been...
You going to drop it here live?
I've been looking after Kanye's Twitter account. Oh, well, I've been consulting him on posts.
Oh, okay, just recently.
Yeah,
it seems to have really taken off.
Yeah.
It's going great.
I didn't suggest the slavery thing. That wasn't me.
Not a choice.
No.
Okay.
That wasn't he freeballed that.
Okay.
But
yeah, felt a bit off the cuff, that one.
Yeah. So everything else, me. Slavery comment, not me.
A lot of other weird stuff going on.
I've really just been cracking open fortune cookies and just giving them to him.
Yeah, okay. It feels that loose.
That's it.
Shall we do paper, rock, scissors? See who goes first?
Come on.
You ready to go?
Yep.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
I win!
Corey! Out of nowhere.
Fucking hell!
All you needed was a break.
I know, just that 3 weeks has just loosened up my frontal lobe.
Yeah, all right. Well, I can't wait to see what you've done. Corey, what did you find?
Josh, you're going to get a real kick out of this week's story. I've got to give our two-time guest and supporter of our podcast, Sally.
Credit where credit's due.
Recommended this story, and thank you very much because it's very good. And we're back in Florida.
Oh, that's where the good stuff happens, isn't it?
Where else do you want to be? Florida man practices karate on some innocent swans.
What?
Yes.
That's awful.
On Thursday, some arsehole allegedly tore around Orlando's Lake Eola Park, kicking the living daylights out of a bunch of swans. Locals,
where do you even kick a swan?
You're about to find out.
Okay.
Local CBS affiliate WKMG reports. Witnesses said the 34-year-old Florida man was practicing karate. A little too old to do karate, if you ask me.
Yeah.
For some bizarre reason, things actually got violent. According to police, Rocco Mantella, that's the guy's name,
Rocco,
kicked a handful of swans in the head as hard as possible, so hard that the birds fell over.
That's like the smallest part of the swan, too.
I know. So he's a good kicker.
Yeah.
He also allegedly punted one right in its poor, defenseless swan ass.
Oh.
And also did this, for good measure, went ahead and kicked a sleeping duck.
A sleeping duck?
So the duck was asleep.
This guy's a piece of shit.
I know. When a bystander looked at him in horror, she said he just looked back at her and laughed.
Yeah, there's a special place in hell for that scumbag.
Finally, the cops managed to arrest him, charging him with aggravated animal cruelty, placing him on a $1,000 bond, which seems low.
That seems like not nearly enough.
It's a dog act.
I would love for this guy to somehow slip through a portal into another universe where 400-pound ducks exist.
I know.
And he's just raped to death by ducks.
Yeah.
I think that's
too good for him.
Justice. Yeah, well, yeah, probably is too good for him.
That's a death too good.
Yeah. So what did you come up with off the back of that bad boy?
Showdown at Swan Lake.
I love it already.
We open on a beautiful spring afternoon. A young schoolboy named Nathaniel is walking home from school, backpack over one shoulder, kicking rocks as he goes.
Nate Dogg.
Up ahead on the footpath, a gaggle of menacing swans approach. Before he can change to the other side
tiny little leather jackets and stuff.
Yeah, you got it.
Wallet chains.
Before he can change to the other side of the road, the swans have surrounded him. He stops. The swans stop. There's a momentary pause because of all the stopping. Hey, can I get past? The boy nervously stammers. The swans stare back at him with their soulless black beady eyes. Nothing.
They're like the eyes of a doll.
Yeah.
Nothing.
The portals to the bottomless hell pit that is their souls.
Hang on. Who's playing the young boy?
I've got an interesting thing this time.
Okay.
I want to cast it with you at the end.
Okay, we'll do a casting
So
session.
as we're going on, start who pops to your mind.
New segment, casting couch.
Casting couch.
Love it.
Has that been done?
I don't know.
Very differently. The boy fixes his mouth for a follow-up question, but before he can, the swan...
What? He fixes his mouth?
Okay, I'll start that again. The boy fixes his mouth as to go say something, like...
He fixes... Why was it broken?
No, like fixes his mouth, like his mouth prepares to say something. Mm-hmm. Come on, it's good English.
Dubious, mate.
The boy fixes his mouth for a follow-up question, but before he can, the swans launch into peck mode, setting to work all over his frail prepubescent body. The boy falls to the ground in a fetal position, crying for his mother, but the swans show no mercy, pecking him behind the kneecaps and other unusual places.
These are black swans.
Then, as quickly as it started, it stops. The boy slowly separates his clenched arms and cautiously opens a single teary eyelid. The swans have gone. Gingerly to his feet, the boy runs home, forever traumatised by the feathery fowl.
Wow.
That's how it starts.
Yeah, it was like a storm. Duck storm.
In the weeks to come, we see the boy harass his mother for karate lessons. Despite his age, his thirst for revenge is strong. Mum caves and we see him being dropped off at a local karate dojo. The Bukai-ki dojo.
Okay, slippery when wet.
His mother walks him in, introduces herself to a short old Japanese man, and explains the boy's situation. The old man leans over and whispers to Nathaniel, "Let's see what we can do about those swans, shall we?"
I thought you were going to go with an accent there. I'm a little bit disappointed.
I'm not... Why would I do that?
Japanese
not with all
man.
the Apu stuff. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Nathaniel's... No, I'm joking. The mother leaves, and as Nathaniel goes to join the rest of the class, Mr. Karagi...
Yeah?
So I did. I'm enjoying myself tonight.
Cool.
Instructs him, "No, Nathaniel-san. We have special private class. Special
and
training."
the racial insensitivity is back.
I do want to take this point to point out that Mr. Karagi is not a pedophile, and it isn't going where you think.
Okay, cool.
he
Well,
said
I didn't think that, but...
Well, that's how I think.
Sure.
Turns out, Mr. Karagi, the boy's sensei and non-pedophile,
Got it.
is the antithesis of Mr. Miyagi, a vindictive, swan-hating master who has devoted his many years of the karate discipline to seeking and destroying swans.
It's a noble cause.
A wonderful coincidence, you might say.
Yeah.
We cut to a training montage that spans years. Little Nathaniel being barked instructions as he sidekicks a life-size swan dummy. Mr. Karagi teaching PowerPoint lessons of swan flight patterns, and little Nathaniel scribbling away conscientiously.
It's just perfect that he happened to walk into that particular dojo.
I know. Finishing on Nathaniel wax cleaning a wooden deck covered in swan droppings.
I'm sorry, what? I thought this wasn't pedophilia.
Finishing on Nathaniel wax cleaning a wooden deck.
Sorry.
Covered in swan droppings as Mr. Karagi looks on scholarly. Each part of the montage, Nathaniel is getting progressively older until he's a man. Now we're a man, right? Finally, Mr. Karagi says...
How old's a man? How long has he been
like
training?
He's a young man. This
He's
is
not like 34. He's not...
He's like 25.
He's been training for, what, 10 years?
Yeah, that's a long montage.
He's going to be the best swan kicker on the planet.
He's devoted his life to this. Finally, Mr. Karagi says to Nathaniel, "I have something special for you." Again, not a pedophile thing.
Bend over.
He presents him with an old necklace made entirely of dead swan bills.
Wow.
A visibly emotional Karagi places the necklace around the neck of teary-eyed Nathaniel and tells him, "There's nothing more I can teach you. You are ready. You are ready."
This squadron of swans, they killed my family. You shall avenge them.
See, I didn't... There's going to be a 2 when we delve into Mr. Karagi. Cut to a seedy-looking mafia-style back room. A group of mean-looking swans sit around a table smoking cigars and drinking scotch. Mm-hmm. In the middle of the table is a black-and-white surveillance-style photo of Nathaniel leaving Mr. Karagi's dojo. One of the swans angrily slams his wing down on the table, sending poker chips and liquor everywhere. The swans make loud, angry swan noises in unison.
How does that go?
I don't know how a swan sounds.
Take a shot. Yeah. Nailed it.
Please don't do that. The swans make loud, angry swan noises in unison until it reaches a deafening, maniacal crescendo. Cut to a sign that says Swan Lake Park. It's a beautiful sunny day and Nathaniel is near a small picturesque lake sharing a picnic blanket with his sweetheart Tiffany. She just pops up. by the way.
Yep.
In the story.
Yep.
There's no backstory.
No.
The mood is convivial until Nathaniel... do you like that?
Convivial?
I learned that word.
Did you thesaurus that?
No, but I heard it and I looked it up.
Been waiting for the right story.
The mood is convivial until Nathaniel leans in for a kiss. Tiffany drops a bomb on him. I'm afraid I have something to confess, my love, Tiffany confesses. What is it, my love? You can tell me anything. Well, Nathaniel, I've accepted a job at Peter. Please don't get upset.
Oh.
Upset? Upset? He's getting upset. How could you work for someone who would defend my vile enemy, the Swan? Oh. Get out of my sight, Tiffany, and never speak to me again. A distraught Tiffany gets up and runs off. Cut to a voyeuristic angle of the same scene, but from between the reeds of the lake.
Oh, no.
The camera starts speeding towards Nathaniel, and we soon realise it's none other than the nasty gaggle gang of hard-built swans, out to get him once and for all.
Damn.
Nathaniel clocks the feathery foe and mutters to himself, "Not this time, swans!" And so begins the final showdown.
It's game time.
A swan launches at him, bill first, only to find the heel of a perfect roundhouse kick.
Oof.
Another swings a wing at his face, only to be grabbed and in the same movement broken like a textbook Bruce Lee move. Now it's just one swan left.
Mono-y-mono.
Cut to a bystander watching it all unfold and quickly reaching for their phone to begin filming. Out of context, Nathaniel looks like a giant swan-kicking arsehole.
Yeah, right.
Nathaniel and the swan start circling each other, slowly, each anticipating each other's next move. The swan cannons itself at Nathaniel, but being the highly trained, quick-thinking black belt he is, he catches the swan around the neck and in a Van Damme-esque fashion breaks the swan's neck. This is shown at 1,000 frames per second to elevate the drama. The bystander shrieks in terror and runs off before Nathaniel can explain himself. Nathaniel drops the swan like a sack of potatoes and walks off. Cut to another montage. Cut to a montage of Nathaniel being brought to justice. The judge's gavel hitting the oak, the prison cell clinking shut, the prison beatings, and a shower scene.
Is Daniel getting raped?
That's up to you.
Okay. You wrote it.
I just said a shower scene.
Sure.
You paint the picture.
All right.
One day the prison guard tells him he has a visitor. It's Tiffany. She's teamed up with a serial-style podcast and is petitioning for his freedom. The last shot is of a very elderly Mr. Karagi watching his TV. We can see the Netflix doco, Swan Song, is playing. A proud and emotional Karagi smiles as we follow a single tear down the cheek. Roll credits.
That's beautiful. So he's a hero after all.
He's a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The swans were the bad guys.
I wonder what it was that Mr. Karaji had against swans in the first place. Like what started the seed of hatred towards those feathered
you always find so many holes in
creatures?
my...
I'm not saying it's a hole. I'm just saying...
It's another story. It's a prequel.
Oh, yeah. It's a
prequel.
So you haven't cast it yet?
I haven't cast it, but before we cast it...
Oh, give us a tagline. I have a feeling this is going to be good.
It's bad.
Oh, okay.
But it's almost a pun in every word.
All right.
Tagline is, Dojo wanna get it, Swan?
It's great. What are you talking about? It's amazing. Oh, that's great.
100 million?
100 million?
Yeah, full CGI swanage. It's
no real swans?
No real swans.
Okay.
CGI swans.
100 million, you reckon, for this one? I mean, there's only one... Oh, no, there's the opening sequence.
There's at least 3 swans.
And the combat sequence at the end. Well, there's a lot of swans at the
80
top.
mil. 80 million.
80 mil?
Yeah.
Okay.
Soundtrack, Kung Fu Fighting.
Yep.
And Tenacious D's Karate Song.
Yep.
And so think Karate Kid meets Hitchcock's Birds is the movie.
That's a great pitch.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm on board.
So let's cast it together.
Why not?
Who do you see as Nathaniel?
As a young Nathaniel or as an older Nathaniel?
Yeah, young Nathaniel.
How old is younger Nathaniel?
He's like, I'd say 11. 11. Like just in primary school. Don't grunt when I say 11-year-old.
Who was it that said that? You're allowed to like kids as long as it's not age specific. You can say I love children, but you can't say I love 11-year-olds. It gets weird.
It does.
Did you have any kids in mind? That sounded worse. I said it out loud.
Oh, who's a kid? Who's a kid that you know?
You know who's a good kid?
Who?
The kid from A Quiet Place.
I didn't see it.
There is a young boy in that.
That's the kid. Whatever. What's his name? Don't know.
I have no idea.
I haven't seen that yet, but I've heard good things.
It's fantastic.
All right.
Best film of the year.
Young Nathaniel is the kid from The Quiet Place.
Yes. Older Nathaniel, Tiffany, and Mr. Karaji we need to cast.
Yeah.
Did you have any thought? So the swans are all CG and they don't speak, so we don't need people for them at all.
That's right.
Just, do you want to cast anyone to make the swan noises?
Actually, I want to CG
Yeah.
The actor who played Mr. Miyagi,
Oh, yeah.
keep him at the same age as that he was in The Karate Kid.
Same guy.
Same guy.
Same everything.
But he's CG'd into the movie.
Like a hologram.
Yeah.
Miyagi Karaji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Might need to
that's
tack
him
on
sort
an
of-
extra 20 mil for that.
Yep.
He is quite a central part, but
Yep.
it's worth it.
Tiffany, who do you see as Tiffany?
Tiffany's got spunk.
Amy Adams always gets. I
yeah.
always go to Amy Adams.
Amy
I see her
Adams
as
is
like
great.
a strawberry blonde,
Yeah.
pale skin beauty.
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet.
I was thinking of Kate Winslet.
Okay.
I could see her working for Peter.
Yeah, actually.
Also being kind of torn on, her love for
Yeah, I like
Nate.
that. Yeah.
older Nate.
Yeah, I think he has to be kind of a sort of jockey type dude, shaved head.
Get Tom Hardy.
Tom
type.
Hardy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would kick the shit out of a Swan.
Who's that guy that's like a wrestler that's in like
John Cena.
John Cena.
John Cena would destroy a Swan.
John Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, John Cena.
John Cena.
It's a good cast.
And I think maybe we can. I don't know. Some people might do the voices for the Swans. Maybe
The sounds.
Maybe they talk.
Kind of like how George Clooney did the barking for that dog on a South Park one time.
Yeah.
Just bring in really big A-listers just to make Swan noises.
that you can do like really basic Foley for.
Yeah, just get Leonardo DiCaprio
To do
come
gravel
in and
sounds,
squawk.
footsteps.
Yeah.
DiCaprio footsteps.
Just running around in a Foley booth. That was DiCaprio, 50 mil. Thanks, mate.
Rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bath time lots of fun. Rubber ducky, I'm awfully fond of you. Vo-vo-vo-dee-o. Rubber ducky, joy of joys. When I squeeze you, you make noise. Rubber ducky, you're my very best friend, it's true.
So Joshua,
Yes, Corey.
what story do you have for us that's going to inspire some film that you've written?
Good question, Corey. Glad you asked. I found a news story. The headline reads,
Hit me.
Spilled KY lube leads to evacuation of Alabama post office.
Bama.
A post office in Guntersville, Alabama, was evacuated Tuesday after some KY intense arousal gel leaked out of a package and spread throughout the post office at about 9 a.m.
Slippery.
Not knowing what the slippery substance was, post office officials evacuated the place and called in hazmat teams. 2 employees felt sick after coming into contact with the gel, according to AL.com.
They just wanted the day off.
Pretty much. They were hospitalised, but are now in a stable condition. Additionally, 12 to 15 other packages were contaminated with the material. The gel was addressed to someone in the entertainment industry,
Right.
according to the Associated Press. The recipient's name has not yet been released. UPS Postal Inspector Tony Robinson told AL he has no idea why the employees felt sick, since the substance was proven to be non-toxic. However, Amazon.com reviews for the product state that the gel sometimes burned to a painful degree and has caused a rash. Officials say the post office will contact the sender of the gel and instruct him or her on how to properly stuff it in to prevent future package mishaps.
Well, it is about stuffing it in, really. That's
all
where the
about
lube comes in.
Jamming it in.
What have you done?
The title of my adaptation is The Unaluber.
The Unaluber?
The Unaluber.
Unaluber. Is that a different language? Una?
No, it's the Unaluber.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
All will become clear.
Yep.
We open in a busy post office. The date is the 20th of April, 4:20. It's the lunchtime rush and there's a queue out the door of impatient customers. Harriet Drivage and Marion Dustbeef are the 2 stoned and overwhelmed postal workers trying to deal with the onslaught. Harriet and Marion are to be played by Ilana Glazer and Abby Jacobson, both from Broad City.
Yep.
Amidst the commotion, no one notices the clear, gelatinous fluid oozing from a moist brown paper package tied up with string on the desk behind the counter. Glistening lube creeps its way across the desktop before cascading over the edge in long, ropey globs, forming a growing KY puddle on the floor.
Oh, you know what? That's a word that's not used enough.
That's actually my porn name, Ropey Globs. Marion turns, crossing behind Harriet, and reaches for a post pack on the back shelf, stepping directly into the puddle. We watch in silent, slow motion as her feet fly out from under her and she spins upside down, landing head first in the worst possible way. The sound of her neck snapping shatters the silence.
Ooh.
Harriet turns, seeing her fallen bestie, and drops to her knees. Overhead, we watch as she cradles her broken friend in a puddle of goo, fist to the sky, screaming, "No!"
And an excuse to use your drone.
Perfect excuse.
Yeah.
Smash cut to the cluttered office of Detective Harvey Smegpaste, to be played by John Goodman. Once a rising star on the force, he's now the visual embodiment of washed up. Obese, unkempt, bald, slightly sweaty, and dead behind the eyes. Back in 2012, Harvey was caught up in an embarrassing porn scandal when his internet history was leaked and published by a tabloid newspaper, and his predilection for fetish website Cake Farts became a media firestorm. Ironically, he was banished to the backroom desk job he now sits at, and he fills his days avoiding any actual police work by burying himself in even weirder internet porn and frosted donuts.
I thought there'd be some sort of firewall on him by now, some sort of controlling his browser.
He's just running loose back there. Chief Tangle, to be played by Michael Keaton, bursts into the dank, smelly office. Smeg paste! There's been another one. Harvey scrambles to close his web browser, spilling his chocolate thickshake in the process. The chief sighs to himself, pretending he didn't just see that. The media-dubbed Unaluber has struck again, this being his 7th lubricant-related death. The chief drops the heavy case file on Harvey's desk. Make this go away! As Harvey opens the file, we watch a montage of the murders so far. January 13th. It's night, and we see 3 drunken doofuses walking arm in arm home from the pub. The doofuses are to be played by the workaholics, Adam, Blake and Durst. They are hammered and singing Milkshake by Kellis at the top of their lungs. Kellis? Khalees.
Yeah. Anders Homevic? I love it.
Yeah. From the windows and doorways come shouts of, "Shut the fuck up!" But they continue, unashamed. They turn and enter an apartment block. The lift is broken, so they head to the stairs. Their terrible singing echoes through the empty stairwell. Little do they know, on the 5th floor, there is a moist brown paper package tied up with string, leaking lube profusely. The lube is thickly slathered across the top 3 stairs. When Adam's foot comes down on the lubed step, he immediately flips backwards, taking Blake and Durst with him. In a gruesome, extended piece of stunt choreography, we watch all 3 of them tumble end over end all the way down the entire 5 floors, ending in a crumpled heap on the ground floor, breaking almost every bone in their bodies on the way down.
It's like The Staircase.
The Staircase?
You know, the famous case where the... No, it's not. Go, continue. It was just a murder on a staircase. It's okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thanks for jumping in, though.
Yep.
March 24th. A brown paper package tied up with string, sitting on the curb at Orlando Airport, Florida. It's a busy thoroughfare, and taxis are dropping off as people... What's that?
Did you say it's the Unaluber?
The Unaluber.
Like the Unabomber?
There you go.
Fuck, I just got it!
You just got it! So glad to have you on board.
Sorry.
It's a busy thoroughfare, and taxis are dropping off as people drag suitcases and trolleys of luggage in every direction. We cut inside an Uber driving towards the airport. The couple, played by Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, are in the back seat and are making out hardcore. It's gross. Like they're trying to swallow each other's faces. The Uber driver, played by Ted Danson, is peeking in the rear vision mirror, trying to catch all the action.
Can I just imagine this film to have a lot of, like, just so much moist sounds? Like, when they're kissing, it's, like, louder than it needs to be.
Oh, absolutely.
Just bring
I reckon we should get Leonardo DiCaprio in the Foley room with a big bowl of lube. Outside, a traffic control attendant, to be played by Shia LaBeouf, walks straight into the lube puddle, sending him slip-sliding out into the busy road. The Uber driver, distracted by the pash sesh in the back seat, doesn't see the dude ploughing into him at full speed. The driver shrieks on impact and slams the brakes on, sending his unbuckled backseat passengers flying headfirst through the front windscreen. April 20th. Back in Harvey Smegpace's office, he closes the case file and takes a deep breath. He stands and grabs his coat, about to head down to the post office, when gunshots are heard outside the police station. He considers grabbing his gun, but he's frozen in fear. Suddenly, his door bursts open. It's Harriet Drivage, the surviving postal worker from the opening scene. She's gone postal. Gun raised and a wild look in her eyes. Harvey puts his hands up. Harriet narrows her eyes and fires, hitting Harvey in the shoulder, sending him flying back over the desk. She levels the gun at his head, ready for the kill shot. The weapon clicks. She's out of bullets. Cops burst into the office and tackle Harriet, pinning her on the cluttered desk. Chief Tangle checks in that Harvey is okay before he starts reading Harriet her rights at gunpoint, but he doesn't notice that she has freed one hand and it's slowly creeping across the desk. Harvey sees what she's doing, but it's too late. She reaches the mouse connected to Harvey's computer and clicks to maximise his internet browser. The web window pops up. It's an order confirmation page for a bulk delivery of KY lubricant. Cut to black.
Harvey all along.
It was Harvey. It was bloody Harvey.
Harvey Lubestein.
Yep, he's in that back room, lubing himself up.
I'd watch that.
Oh yeah, no, I'd watch that. I got a tagline.
Yeah.
This deadly male leaves a snail trail.
They never knew KY he did it.
Oh, that's so much better.
No, it's not.
It is good. So cast-wise, I got Ilana Glazer as Harriet Drivage, John Goodman as Harvey Smegpaste, the Workaholics, pretty much playing themselves.
Yep.
Michael Keaton as Chief Tangle, Abby Jacobson is Marion Dustbeeve, Ted Danton as the Uber driver, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively as the horny couple.
I love it. I love how many vagina puns you got in there.
There's a lot of vag puns. Now, soundtrack-wise, I discovered something quite interesting. A thing that I noticed, if you replace the word love with the word lube in almost every song where it's mentioned, it makes a much better song.
Nice.
So let me give you a few examples. When a Man Lubes a Woman by Michael Bolton. All You Need Is Lube by the Beatles.
Yeah.
She Will Be Lubed.
She will be lubed.
As Long As You Lube Me by the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, beautiful.
Crazy in Lube by Beyonce. Tainted Lube. What is Lube? Baby Don't Hurt Me.
That's so good.
There's so many options. And obviously Milkshake by Khalees.
That's great. You should just reimagine all those songs.
Yeah,
for the soundtrack.
I think there's some great stuff in there.
Yeah.
Budget, I'm thinking it's about $25 million.
Yeah.
It is a
that'll
big
do it.
cast, but who wouldn't want to be involved?
Oh.
So
If you said the words, you came to pitch that and went, Ropey Glob,
Ropey Globs.
Post Office,
Yep.
John Goodman.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Yeah, it's a big cast. There's some serious stunt work involved, but no crazy effects or design required. So it's kind of just like Zodiac meets Red Tube with a hint of The Bone Collector.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, your lube budget's your biggest cost.
We're going to go through a lot of lube, I think.
Yeah.
How much does lube cost these days?
I don't know.
Come on, mate. We know you know.
$15, I don't know, $10.
$15
Depends
for a
where you
litre.
get it and what you buy, what size you buy.
Like if you go for the real quality stuff.
Yeah, and if you want to buy, you're going to buy. If you want to go to Costco and get like a bucket of lube, or you just want to buy a tube.
Right.
You know what I mean? Josh, I noticed in your story you had a theme there of cake farts, or you brought it up.
It wasn't a theme, mate. It was
there
a
was
minor detail.
There was a minor detail, which I want to know, is that a major detail in your real life?
How dare you? First of all, how dare you ask such a question? Second of all, the yearly premium subscription is really something you should get on board with because it's good for $500 a year. You get a really good selection of multimedia entertainment.
What do you get?
Well, on the month, you get sent a cake from cakefarts.com that has been farted on.
I imagine there's no lit candles, though, because that would pose a
Dangerous.
problem.
OH&S.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But get on board. Get a membership.
I love how your love of true crime and cake farts and lube has
Curdled.
Indeed. Has curdled into a wonderful, wonderful film, Josh.
How to Cake a Murderer.
How to Cake a Murderer.
If you will.
Well, that's about all we have time for, Josh.
It is all we have time for, Corey. But this week you're going to have two films to think about. You've got Corey's film,
Showdown at Swan Lake.
Or you've got my film, The Unaluber.
A.K.A. Ropey Globs.
Oh, I like that. Good alternate title. We're going to put a poll at the top of the Facebook page with each film there for you to vote on. Pick the one that you think is the least shithouse. At the end of the week, we'll find a winner and a movie poster will be made for said film.
And please, if you've got a weird news story you want to hear us movify, get at us on Facebook, Gmail, our email, whatever. Just hit us up because we don't want to look for things. We hate doing this even.
We're very, very lazy.
We're very time poor and lazy. So you put those two things together and it's not a good mix.
It's not. Find a gem, a nugget, a golden shiny nugget and send it in to us. We'd muchly appreciate it. We'll give you a shout out.
We'll lather it with lube and we'll put it out.
Slide it out to you.
Well, until next week, don't forget to flush.
See you, cunts.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
He jumped over 3 linebackers in midair, sprouted endless, like a gazelle.
No one laughs at a master of quack fool.
Real nice. Many have died from starvation due to the difficulty of finding enough food, such as seal.
Shut up. No more Mr. Nice Duck. That's it. Right, Mr. Sitz?
What do you make of that? You know, it's the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
The Brown Carpet Podcast.
Your phone's not on airplane.
It's just a buzz. Is that going to be a problem?
That is going to be a problem. Dick pic. Oh, you might as well turn that down too, mate.
No, you can't hear it when this is shut. And I don't know how because it won't turn off.
It's good that you know your tools.
Yeah, tools of the trade.
You and your paper. Look how much he's written. Look how much he's written.
It's a it's onto the
like
third
a real
page.
podcaster. Look at you go. You're prepped.
I'm back.
Mate, I'm so proud. So, obviously, there's been a wealth of... I don't know where I'm going with this. Have you been to cakefarts.com?
No, I know about it, though.
You know what it is?
I know about people sitting on cakes, though, as well.
It's chicks who sit on cakes and fart.
Fart on cakes, yeah.
Yeah.